Alright, this midterm solutions green test problem 2. What we're doing here is coming up with the derivative of cotangent using the quotient rule. We know that cotangent is cosine over sine. So using the quotient rule, our top function is cosine, our bottom function is sine. Here's the quotient rule over here. So what we have is that the derivative of cotangent equals our top function is cosine, derivative of cosine is negative sine, times our bottom function, which is just sine. And then from that we want to subtract our top function, which is cosine, times the derivative of our bottom function, derivative of sine is again cosine, and then divide that whole thing by sine the bottom squared. And what we have up top here is sine squared, negative sine squared minus cosine squared. So you can take out a negative, and you got sine squared plus cosine squared divided by sine squared. And as we got written up here, sine squared plus cosine squared is equal to 1. So this right here is just negative 1 over sine squared. Or if you want negative, since 1 over sine is cosecant, negative cosecant squared. Moving on to part B. Here we want to again find the derivative of cotangent, so hopefully our answer will match up. Hopefully again it'll be negative cosecant squared. But this time we want to do it using the chain rule. Okay, we got that cotangent is tangent to the negative 1 power. So using our chain rule here, our inside function is tangent and our outside function is x to the negative 1. So if we use the chain rule, we got that the derivative of cotangent is equal to, first we'll take care of the outside, the negative 1, leave the inside alone, but then we're not done. Then we have to multiply that by the derivative of the inside, the derivative of tangent. Fortunately that's given to us over here as secant squared of x, which doesn't quite look like what we got. But if we use all the simplifying hints that I gave up at the top, what we got here is negative, tangent is sine over cosine, so raising it to the negative 1 power makes it cosine over sine, and then the 2 squares it, so we got cosine squared over sine squared. Then we have to multiply that by secant squared, but secant is 1 over cosine. So secant squared is 1 over cosine squared. And what's nice about this is cosine squared and cosine squared will cancel out. And what we're left with is negative 1 over sine squared, which is equal to negative cosecant squared of x, which sure enough, does match up with what we got up here. And that is the end of problem 2.